Now that we have our circle, our yellow circle, we're going to talk about the path panel and explain what its importance is. Make sure your active layer is the drawing layer. Make sure your circle layer, the visibility is turned off. Go over to the path panel, which is usually clustered with the layers and channels. If you do not see it, go to Windows, Paths, okay? And we're going to draw a simple path to illustrate what this path panel does. Select the pen tool, okay, or press P, and let's create a simple path. 1, 2, 3, and close it. And now we have a triangle, which is displayed in our path panel by the thumbnail, and it's called Work Path. So the first thing you'd want to do is double click on the Work Path layer and rename it something that you will understand. We'll call it triangle. Press enter or press OK, and you'll notice it changed from an italicized to a now regular font called triangle. We are now going to change this path into a selection. Down here there are quick buttons on the panel. You can either stroke the path with a brush by selecting this, or you can do the fill, or load the path as a selection, or the fill, excuse me, I just selected the wrong icon, but you can usually move your mouse over it and it will tell you what it's going to do. For me, I use a quicker way. I just use Control, and you notice how the cursor changes to a square, and when I let go it goes back to normal. Do it again, do it again, it changes back to a square cursor. I just click once, it changes that path into a selection, or loads it as a selection, as you would say. And let's say that I wanted to stroke it with yellow and put a fill of white. I will go to the edit layer, I will go to edit fill, and I'd want to put the background color, because I know it's white, which is indicated down here. Click OK, and now my fill is white. I'm going to change the stroke to that yellow, so I'm going to pick the foreground color, or I could have picked the color if I wanted to, doesn't matter. We're going to use the foreground color. Oh, excuse me, I selected the wrong one. Sometimes that happens. You know, I'm glad that happens, because you have to really watch which one you pick sometimes, because I've had that happen more than once. So make sure you pick stroke. I change my width to 10 pixels. You can pick any pixels, it doesn't matter, so you can see how it is. Choose your color the same way we did with the fill. I'm going to pick outside instead of center or inside. Click OK, and I'm going to click Control D. If you don't want to do Control D, you can always go to Select, Deselect, Control D, and voila. You took your path that you created, which was a simple triangle, you loaded it as a selection, you added a stroke and a fill. Now imagine with the pen tool you can create anything you want and load it as a selection, fill it and stroke it in a matter of what, 1 minute? You can imagine the time you can save, and you can see the importance of it. Now let's say that you didn't want this fill or stroke and you didn't like that path. One thing you could do is you could use the marquee tool, or press M for the rectangular marquee, draw a square around it. I know, but for your sense, make sure you go to the layers panel, make sure your drawing layer is active, because if you accidentally select the background and then you press delete, you just deleted your background. Not good. Remember, you can always pick Control Z, which will bring it back. Make sure your drawing layer is active where the triangle is, then press delete, and it will only delete that triangle. And then press Control D to deselect it. Go back to the path panel, because there's something else I wanted to explain. We can get rid of this triangle in 3 different ways that I know of. There's probably more, but 3 simple ways for me. One is select the path and press delete, or select the path, press the backspace key, or select the path and be lazy and just drag it to the trash. Okay. If you notice that when you select a path, you see it on the screen, and when you deselect the path or select another one, another path comes up. If you select over here in the panel area, you won't see the path at all. Just something to be aware of. Okay, so now let's select the circle path, go over to the layers panel, turn the visibility for the circle,